Hello, I'm April Ramey, and I want to tell you about psychedelic herbalism method and why it's so important. So, I have been thinking about this for decades. And so, I first want to share that this is for the subtle, this is for the potency and power that's being asked for us right now, especially those of us who are shifting the paradigm in the world. So, for you who really wants to make a difference. So, I want to begin with my story and how did I even get to the psychedelic herbalism method and what it is about. So, when I was younger, I grew up in Columbia, Maryland, in this utopic society that had a certain amount of green space to living space, and socioeconomic classes lived together. And mainly, it was a space for interracial couples to come together, which is what my father and my mother are: Ashkenazi Jew, Black Cherokee Native, Catholic, and my father decided to be atheist, from New York and DC respectively, and they're both like from the cities, and they wanted a place, a respite, a place to go where in the 70s they could be a couple together and hopefully experience a better world. And so when I was growing up, I was talking to plants and nature and all these things. And I didn't realize it was a thing. And I was always known as a spaz because I just lived so full on. And part of my life has been coming back to that. And what happened is I lost myself. I lost myself to alcoholism because that runs in my family. It's something that is a way of coping with our power, our strength, the subtleties, the things that are overwhelming. And so I really leaned heavily into alcohol as my addiction, as my space to help me heal. And I found out that you could get a master's in herbalism, and I was sold like immediately. I was like, that's what I want to do with my life. And there's something that I've recognized in my life is that I tend to move very quickly, but also pretty slowly at the same time. It's like this weird juxtaposition of time. And so time went by and I found out I could be that herbalist. I made it happen. And I was really dedicated to clinical herbalism, where I see clients and make that my path, and really was supporting and helping people in my community and going in the clinical model. And in the meantime, while all this is happening, I also was making ayahuasca in the jungle, and I was a psychonaut, and mushrooms saved my life. It was part of the way I stopped my addiction to alcoholism. And so many different psychedelic plant medicine experiences that I placed myself into over the decade was really imperative. And there was this moment in 2017 when I was in my second vision quest, and I was receiving the message that I no longer needed to take the medicine for at least 6 months. But I had to go to all the ceremonies. So at this time I was help supporting, so there was a lot of ceremonies I was going to. So I know that path, right? I know the path of like going to ceremony, having community, really being connected in. And I started to notice and receive and understand that my space was integration. And why? It's because I had a really deep clinical herbalism practice. And I was applying what I had been learning in clinical herbalism in my psychedelic integration. And so back in 2017, before it was like really cool to be a psychedelic integrator, I was, making that happen. That's what I wanted to do. And so this is because I recognize that this was my life's work, because my clients, you, me, we are so in tune with our intuition. We are wanting to shake up the norm. We are wanting to change things. We follow our inner path. And so it's imperative that we trust the wisdom, that you trust the wisdom that's coming through. And I found that the best way to do this was with the plants that are here healing us and supporting us every single day. They're so subtle and yet so profound. And it's so potent. And it reminds me, I think of like these common plants and we kind of discount them. But at one point, they were exotic or amazing. And the reason why they're so common is because they're so potent and powerful. And I've witnessed since 2012 and how all these plants that seemed exotic are now a lot more normal. People know about it, and that's where we're going. That's what's happening. And so this is for you. Psychedelic herbalism is for that sensitive person who doesn't hide out because you're making a difference in the world and you know that you're supposed to do that, or you're like ready to do that and you don't really know how, and you trust deep into yourself and you're learning about the subtle communication that you're receiving from your body. Maybe you've been doing your somatic practices, yoga, psychedelic journeys. Maybe a lot of my clients have come from post-cancer, near-death experiences, their life completely being upended, and they're wanting to really tap into the subtle self, right? So you're intuitively driven, and deep down, you know that you need to turn that up. And everyone in your environment is telling you that you need to be stable, reasonable, logical, or that you're crazy. And I know that vibe. And they tell you to do that. And yet, you know, it's not the way to live, but you have to choose yourself. You have to choose to embody the intuition as success. And this is what psychedelic herbalism does for you. Psychedelic herbalism is a space that allows you to go deep into one herb at a time. It's not about psychedelics, it's not about microdosing. It's a method rooted in subtle herbal allies that pay attention to your sacred rhythm, that help you commune with yourself, earth, your ancestors, your emotions, and the physical. And so it's like this layering of healing that happens. And it's what for those people who are not feeling like you need to heal yourself entirely and everything's wrong, but it's for those who are like, I am healed. And yet I know that there's more to do. And I want to walk through earth in my healed state, completely supported. You don't want to be unsupported anymore. And the plants have the way of doing that, these subtle plants. And we all see this, right? Like we are witnessing how psychedelics is not the only space. And the most and best experiences are when you understand why plants are communicating to you and how to navigate the world with that knowledge and that wisdom. Because what's the point of your whole life being upended if you don't do something about it? And that's what we're here for. We're disruptors, you're coaches, herbalists, therapists, visionaries. You're holding space for other people, and you need to be held yourself. And so I've been really sitting into it. It's like, this isn't just for psychedelics. This is so much more. This is for a movement that's being created for those of us who recognize and realize that the potency is being present, is being here in this moment now, when everything seems to be so intense, because it is. And you need to be in your full self and aligned to be able to show up for the world right now. And so I invite you into this world of the psychedelic herbalism and recognizing that all of life is psychedelic. And the way to really attune to that psychedelic nature is to tap into the subtleties, tap into your sensitivity, tap into what's being created within yourself. And so I invite you into this world because there's one-on-one mentorship where it's deeply personalized. I'm giving you your own herbal allies to work with. We're doing energetic work, and you can talk to me about that. There's group programs that I have that you can check out. One of them is Celestial Petal Society, where you can work with a flower essence that allows you to tap into one plant at a time on a psychological, emotional level, on a very deep way that's attainable in your life. And there's ritual, and it's like a really great membership, and everyone in there is so amazing. And then there is the Sacred Disruptors Council, Gnosis. It's all kind of wrapped in together. Something that you'll learn about me is that I'm not afraid to change things when it's time. And so in that group, we are working together as a collective, communing to bring together our strengths and what we offer in the world. And we utilize our own herbal allies. And we're connecting that with different somatic practices, pranayama, gene keys, human design, astrology. We're utilizing tools and we're bringing them all together in union with the plants. And so I really want to invite you into the world. And so you can either hang out with me and book a call, you can send me an email. You can find me on Instagram and send me a DM at Antler Alchemy, or you can Telegram me as well. And you're going to find out that when you message me and talk to me, I'm going to send you a voice note. I'm going to be very personal. It's about you. And I want to have that dialogue. I want to talk to you. I want you to be a part of the world and part of the movement to recognize that our subtle powers is what's going to change the world. And so I look forward to expanding more upon this, answering any questions that you have. I just wanted to create a short little video for those of us like me who love watching things to learn about stuff instead of reading. And that's what psychedelic herbalism method is in a nutshell. And it's very magical, and I want you a part of it.